Hello everyone, Tips316 here again, and I'm here tonight to give you my thoughts on the Nintendo Wii U. This baby right here, well technically this is the gamepad, the Wii U is over there, but we recently, this week, got news that apparently the Wii U is now officially Nintendo's worst selling console. Now I haven't looked at the numbers yet. I find it hard to believe that the Virtual Boy outsold the Wii U, but if that's the case, that's kind of a shame because the Virtual Boy really wasn't that great. In my opinion, the Wii U is actually Nintendo's best console since the GameCube. And I know that might confuse some people. Well, the Wii sold millions and millions and millions of units, outsold the 360 and the PS3, and the Wii U, didn't even come close to that. How could it? Let me explain. The Wii U is a misunderstood console. Yes, I'm a Nintendo fan, but I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. I will not ignore things that they did wrong because I love them so much. No. The Wii U, as of itself, great system. The gamepad, when I first saw this, I was as skeptical as anyone, but the moment I held it in my hand, I was like, I like this. And a lot of the games on the system, especially the games exclusive to it, made for it specifically, are fantastic. The problem is, Nintendo really did not get behind it full steam, and I think that hurt it. When it was first launched, New Super Mario Bros. U was kind of the biggest title for it, at least in terms of first-party software. And I think we can all agree that really wasn't that great. What they needed to do, and I still don't know why they didn't do it, they should have had New Super Mario 3D World, and or even just that as a launch title would have been great because that was awesome. That was pretty much the first game for the system that everyone went, oh my god, this is great. And then the following year for Christmas, you could have had Mario Kart 8 and Super Smash Brothers. I mean, that would have been, I guarantee you, had they done that and marketed the thing a little bit better, it would have sold 10 times as much, maybe even 20 times as much. It would have been a big hit. Fortunately, that's not what happened. The purpose of this video is to really just give you my opinion on it. A lot of people love to talk trash about Nintendo, and hopefully the Switch will remedy that. I think it's a step in the right direction. If it's everything they say, if it's powerful, it's definitely unique. If all the third-party companies get on board, I think we have a hit on our hands. But what the Wii U does right, I love the interface. I love Miiverse. I've met so many great people on Miiverse, some of which I'm close friends with now. Matter of fact, recently, a friend of mine who I met on Miiverse several years ago came up here and visited me and my fiance along with her boyfriend. So we have, Miiverse in that aspect changed my life, And of course, they love playing online. Smash, Mario Kart is fantastic, and so many great. We had Hyrule Warriors was awesome. I think, of course, Super Mario 3D World, Tropical Freeze was great. But where I think the Wii U really shined was it was like Steam without being Steam in terms of the indie scene. There were so many great indie titles on this puppy. It's incredible. The thing is, though, I think with the name, the Wii U, it confused a lot of people. I cannot tell you how many people said to me, what is that, like an upgrade to the Wii? Because everyone had a Wii. Everyone played it constantly. Here's the thing, though. With the Wii, it was great, but at the same time, the Wii and Nintendo in general are kind of like the pro wrestling scene right now. And I'll tell you why. Back in the day, in the late 90s, wrestling became popular again. The WWF and WCW battling it out in the Monday Night Wars. It was awesome. Buy rates through the roof. Tickets were flying out. Everyone loved wrestling. It was cool again. It had become a mainstream hit. Unfortunately, as a result, that kind of changed the way that wrestling companies did their business, and as a result, a lot of the hardcore fans were kind of pushed aside for the mainstream fans, and that hurt the business to an extent. Now, what does this have to do with video games? You understand? Well, it's kind of the same thing. With the GameCube was a fantastic system. Amazing. Don't get me wrong. But the Xbox and the PS2, let's face it, did outshine it in many ways, and rightfully so. Those were both great systems. All three were great. That was a great, awesome generation. Then the Wii came along. I think because the motion controls were innovative. I mean, the Kinect and PlayStation Move, hello, everyone always loves to copy Nintendo. Just like I guarantee you, if the Switch is a success, Microsoft and Sony are going to try to figure out a way to copy that, motif. But with the Wii, as successful and fun as it was, at the same time, in my opinion, it dumbed down the gaming audience. What I mean is this. The Wii helped make gaming popular again in terms of the mainstream masses that didn't necessarily game, whether it was little kids, elderly people, whatever. It made it more accessible because it was a simple concept. With the cheapest of the consoles, it had a lot of party games, a lot of kiddie games, and as a result, it was a great gift for families and for children. Not faulting it for that. That's one of the reasons why it sold so well. On the other hand, that seemed to dumb down things quite a bit because, let's face it, a lot of the games on the Wii, even though you had games like Donkey Kong Country Returns, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, you had, of course, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Metroid Prime 3, Corruption. You had many great games on that, but at the same time, a good chunk of the library was shovelware. It was like stupid motion control games and party games. And what Wii Fit, that was cool. Wii Fit, I bet, saved some people's lives, like literally. And it was fantastic use of the technology. But it also kind of dumbed down the gaming masses to a degree. Because after that, those motion-based party games were coming out like a plague. And we just could not get rid of them. We couldn't. And as a result, a good chunk of Wii's library, to true gamers like myself, is kind of a wasteland. Even the online store, the virtual console was fantastic. Towards the end of the Wii's life cycle, though, I honestly found myself just playing more virtual console games and not much else. Because after all the big games came out, there wasn't really much left. Even there were some good indie games on the shop channel, but nothing much. But the Wii U is this is a gamer's console right here. Because it's not about stupid party games. There are real games on here. And indie games, holy shit. I mean, here you go. Good example. A game like Super Meat Boy. Arguably the game that kickstarted the indie craze. Could have been on the Wii, should have been on the Wii, but it wasn't. Why, I don't know. But it was on here. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like Ed McMillan said, no, I don't want it on that. That's not a real gamer system. This is. I'm sure that's not the case, but it's almost as if. But my point is that same thing with wrestling. The Attitude Era kind of, as much as it was great for wrestling, at the same time it set the bar too high. It kind of dumbed down the audience a little bit to what, instead of having real wrestling, or in this case, real gaming, you had chairs to the head, flaming tables and all that stuff, or motion controls with gaming that brought people in. But it wasn't real wrestling. It wasn't real gaming. But now, the WWE and Ring of Honor, they have real wrestling. They have all these great guys that do have these 5-star matches. But now no one gives a shit. No one's watching. Same thing with this. This is a fantastic system if you're a real gamer. Like I can see myself. But no one's buying. What a conundrum. Now, with the PS4, I think, in my opinion, the best console overall this generation will probably end up being the PlayStation 4. Rightfully so. Sony has never made a bad console. Never. For me, Sony and Nintendo are the two best things to ever happen to the gaming industry. Microsoft, however, a little bit different. Because Xbox was great. But I was worried when they announced it. I mean, Microsoft, the king of PCs and all that. What are they gonna do? Should be interesting. But it was a good system. The 360 was even better, despite the red ring of death. And they revolutionized the online component. When they advertised the Xbox One, though, when they announced it, they said, "Oh, you can have it's got a DVD player. You can watch your TV through it. You can Skype through it. You can stream through it." And I thought to myself, well, that's great, but what games are going to be on it? I mean, granted, I'm not rich and I can only afford to buy one system per generation and support it. And I always go with Nintendo because that's where my heart is. But I keep track of Sony and Microsoft, and in the past I've had the chance to play Xboxes and PlayStations. So it's like, what are the games? What are you going to have on it? You know what I mean? I mean, you expect Halo and all that stuff. What are you going to have on it? They were, for me, it's supposed to be a gaming console, not an entertainment system. If I want to watch a movie, I'll get a DVD player. If I want, you know what I mean? I mean, the whole streaming in-game thing, that's cool. But like Skype, who cares if you can Skype while you play a game or watch TV while you play a game? It's a gaming console. That's what it's supposed to be. You're spending so much money and so much advertising telling everybody the fancy things it can do. Tell us what fucking games are going to be on it, okay? So this video kind of has gone off the rails, but that's my point. I'm not tearing Microsoft down. Again, to get back to my point, I think in the long run, the Wii U has been a great system. I have loved it. Unfortunately, it's been a failure. In terms of sales, it has been a tremendous failure. And it's a shame because I love Nintendo. They deserve better. This deserved better. Anyone who has one will get that. It is an awesome, beloved system. And hopefully, in another 10 years, it'll go down like the GameCube did, where everyone looks back on it and goes, you know, that was a nice little quaint system. But our eyes are on the future, the Nintendo Switch. When I first saw it, I was like, because I wasn't expecting. I actually have a friend on Facebook who was really disappointed that this system has a gimmick. That's not just a straight gaming console. I get news for you, there is no such thing as a straight gaming console anymore. All the systems do all kinds of things, you know what I mean? And for all you people out there that care about graphics the most, don't buy a PlayStation, don't buy an Xbox. If you care about power that much, PC gaming. The consoles will never beat PC graphics. It'll never happen. Trust me. But where Nintendo always is innovation and gameplay, and they have the best first-party franchises of any. I mean, let's face it. I mean, yes, you got the great third-party companies out there like your Rockstars, your Bethesdas, and from what I understand, they're all on board for the Switch, so that's awesome. But it's going to be really good, I think, to see what happens. I think the concept is awesome. Like I said, my friend that was pissed off that it was a gimmick. I'm like, no, it's not. If you want, you can just hook it up to your TV and play it like a classic console. You don't have to take it out of your house. You don't have to do anything with it. And it's got fucking cartridges, man. Cartridges. How cool is that? I mean, wow. I love it. And I tell you something, if that snaps into place and then snaps back out, like the way the ad makes it seem, that's going to be great. But bottom line, the games, what are we going to get? Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart you saw, it looks like Skyrim, the remastered Skyrim is going to be on there, so that's pretty cool. And the fact that you can take these on the go like a handheld, I mean, that's amazing. I think Nintendo, my message to Nintendo is this: don't mess this up. You guys really have the opportunity to revolutionize the gaming industry again. Please don't mess it up. We love you guys. Everyone does. Even everyone from my generation loves you guys. You gave us so many great memories. Please, don't mess this up. You have the opportunity to take back the gaming industry that you helped create, that you saved. The gaming industry was dead in 1985 until you guys came along. Save it once again. Sony, Microsoft, you know what? For me, like I said, they announced the Xbox One, and I mean, I haven't really heard anything about it ever since. It just kind of came and went, really. But the PS4 has been doing fantastic, and I think Sony and Microsoft will. I think in 10 years that's where we'll be, or even maybe in 5. Sony and Microsoft. I think as long as we have those two, the gaming market will be fine. If Microsoft can kick butt again, that'd be awesome. Cause I think it's better when everyone benefits. I hate this console war stuff between fans. I mean, companies fine, but the more companies fight over it and try to get sales, the better they are. Because competition creates creativity, and us fans benefit. I hate it when people go, you buy a PlayStation, you suck. You buy a Nintendo, you suck. You buy an Xbox, you suck. Like South Park. What was it? Titties and Dragons, or whatever that stuff was. We all win. When the companies are all firing on all cylinders trying to beat each other, we all win. So let's all get together, and whatever the future brings, I think it's going to be good. You got the PlayStation Pro, is that what it's called? The Xbox Scorpio, and now the Nintendo Switch. And I really think if Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are all on their game, 2017 could shape up to be the best year in gaming since last generation. I really think so. So this is Tips 316. If you have any comments or anything you want to contribute, if you agree with me or you disagree with me, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know some of the games. If you like the Wii U, let me know some of the games you like. If you don't like the Wii U, give me some reasons why. Again, awesome system, but they screwed it up big time. I don't know if it's because they thought the Wii was so popular that this one would be too, sight unseen. But it's a good little console, and I will always cherish it. So thank you, Nintendo. It was great, and I have loved it. But the Switch, time to step it up. So thank you, everyone, for listening to this video. Let's see, what have I got planned for the future? I'm going to be doing some more LPs. Hopefully I'll record one very soon. I won't say what it is, but it's a classic. Let's see, my maiden reviews. I'll probably do another one of those pretty soon. Power Slave is next. So, my channel's now a week old, and my fiance and I have been plugging a whole bunch of stuff into this. We really love doing this. This is fun. Even though we only have a few followers right now, we can't wait to meet more people. I've already met several people thanks to doing, a couple people thanks to doing this, through Facebook and all that. I'm really, really enjoying it. And shout out to my buddy Ron Miller for giving me the encouragement to start this. The LP that he and I that I'm appearing on one of his LPs on the ST2K channel. That'll debut next month. Can't wait for y'all to see that. So take care, everyone. Love you all.